All right. S.A.?
Yes.
You're up first. We haven't heard from you in a minute, so let's start with your favorite subject. What is the reaction to all you just heard from Jerry, from Micah, and the loss last night?
The operative word that comes to my mind, fellas, is embarrassment. You're Micah Parsons, who is an absolute stud, who deserves his money. We know what he means. To be talking about a game like this being more important and more riveting than a playoff loss, my God, that's just evidence that you're not very experienced at playoff losses. I mean, you should be, because you've been there and you've had your share of playoff losses already. But nevertheless, that's just not something that should come out of a player's mouth. To say that this really hurt me more than any loss this year, that makes sense, because obviously you've been playing better, like he pointed out, and unfortunately you're finding ways to still lose games. But in a sense, when he expands extensively beyond that and gives the indication that it's more important than a playoff loss, and it just reminds us what you don't know about postseason meanings and postseason success. It clearly is something that you are oblivious to. So I think that, and then to listen to Jerry Jones talking after the game was just utter embarrassment. There's no way around that. Making absolutely no sense whatsoever. Basically, it's encouraging them not to block the damn punt. I've never heard that, but that's a first for me, fellas. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So it's bad enough you've seen the injuries ravage them. It's bad enough you've seen incompetent play. It's bad enough that at times we've seen questionable coaching. But then when you see their comments, fellas, and the kind of things coming out of their mouth, it just reminds you how detached they are from what the reality of playing professional football should be. Now, I never played. How the hell I know that seemingly better than the players and the coaches and an owner for an NFL team? How on God's name does anybody that didn't play the sport, let alone on y'all level, let alone period, especially on y'all level, seem to know that better than the owner, the president, the GM, and a star player? It makes no sense, guys. It makes no sense.
Jay?
Yeah, I'm absolutely surprised by what Micah said, because there's nothing more riveting and more hurtful than a playoff loss, for the simple fact is that you think you have a chance to win the Super Bowl. This is a regular season game. There's another game to be played on Sunday. In the playoff Saturday, you know this just like I know it. It's the finality of it that makes it hurt, because there is no tomorrow. You're going in tomorrow, and they're going to give you a big old hefty bag, and you're going to clean your lockout. And you're like, all right, guys, hey, stay in contact. Let me know if you come to Atlanta, or if let's plan a trip, go to Vegas or Cancun or something like that. It's the finality of the playoffs that makes it hurt. And for Michael to say that, I can get it. If he want to say this is one of the most painful losses that he's had this season, I get that, along with Baltimore, because they had a chance. They thought they'd get the onside kick because they'd come back into the ball game. But that's really the only chance that they really had of a loss that they could have won. All the rest of the home playoff losses, they got for the most part, they've gotten blown out, and it hasn't been even close. But for Jerry to say, what do you mean don't block it? Good. If you tell you what I don't get, because see what happened, Stephen A. Saturday, you remember when the Washington Commanders onside and the guy picked the ball up and he ran it back instead of falling on it? You see, they come, I got me a cheap touchdown. You see, you accepted things in the win, you wouldn't have lost. Everybody knows if you're on special team, if you block a punt or a field goal and the ball breaks the line of scrimmage, get away from it. Because the moment you touch it, that is a live ball, and it's a change of possession. If it's behind the line of scrimmage, you try to scoop it up. No harm, no foul. Everybody knows that. You can see Bones Fossil. I know him. His dad was my offensive coordinator. He's one of the better special team coaches in all of football. It's hard for me to believe that he has not covered this.